trustees, teachers, administrators, guest speakers, and a special welcome back to the class of 1963. In case you don't already know me, my name is and I have the privilege of being this year's Salutatorian. In my relentless effort to write this speech, spending hours on the website of infinite wisdom that we call YouTube, I came across a definition of what it means to be Salutatorian that I'd like to share with you. It says, a Salutatorian is the person who just missed being valedictorian by a few GPA points. A very miserable person indeed. Second place is the first loser. Now I know how the Buffalo Bills felt from 1990 to 1991. While this may have some validity, I can still say that I get to speak first. My real job tonight is to welcome all of you, the graduates of the class of 2013, to this commencement and to a new chapter in our lives. Tonight is a very special night for us. You see, this is our last hour as students here. When we walk onto the stage, we'll be graduating seniors. When we walk back down, we'll be alumni of St. Joe's. Tonight, we can all say, we did it. Take a moment and think back to 4 years ago. Remember the moment you decided to attend St. Joe's? Maybe it was you that decided this, or your parents. Maybe you were like me when I received my acceptance letter, overjoyed and anxious to have a fresh start. Maybe your excitement diminished a little bit when you saw your first ever summer reading list. Regardless, this decision would come to shape the next 4 years of our lives. I think we can all attest to the fact that it affected our lives in an extraordinary way. And I have some news. That wasn't the only big decision we'll ever make. In fact, we were just in a similar situation when we had to choose the path for the next 4 years of our lives. Aren't you glad that's over? But we'll be in many more situations of a similar nature, and most of the time, we won't be sure of the best choice. I quote, "Life is a constant cycle of being a freshman. We will find ourselves in times when we don't have the experience or the wisdom to be completely confident in our paths in life. And in choosing these paths, we will have to take risks. But taking risks in life is what will move us forward and develop us as people. So when you come to these points in your life, listen to your heart and go for it." For most of you, your St. Joe's experience and overall life experience over the past 4 years were probably a lot like mine, one long roller coaster ride. We've all had our ups and downs, our successes and our failures, our triumphs and our disappointments. Let me just name a few that we've shared during our time here. I'll start with successes. The Mayans told us that the world was going to end on December 21st, 2012, but we're all still here. Having Liam McMahon at St. Joe's gives us the Guinness World Record for man with the deepest voice. And a personal success. I gained the anguish of the entire St. Joe's faculty from 7 to 8 a.m. since this year I was the guy in charge of delivering them their substitutions each day. And then the disappointments. I know we all sympathize with Deeks who, even after many years of hard work, still has not managed to win over Beyonce. In all seriousness though, we've all had times here when we were at our best and our worst. And all of these moments have helped to define who we are. We must continue to build on our achievements and reflect and learn from our mistakes. One thing which I admire about St. Joe's is the integrity and high standards that every student here carries with them. Whether you are reading the Buffalo News, the Kenton Bee, or the world-famous The Collegiate, or watching the news on TV, you always hear something positive about the students or alumni of St. Joe's. Of course, this high standard can go the other way too. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, the St. Joe's Jazz Band took a trip to New York City for their annual tour. While at the hotel one night, 20 members of the jazz band, including myself, decided that it would be a good idea to cram into an elevator with a capacity of 8 people. I remember vividly saying a few prayers as the elevator began to rise, and then my heart sinking as the elevator stopped, but the door didn't open. Now imagine an elevator made for eight, with 20 St. Joe's boys who had just come back from a long day in the city, a little sweaty, stuck there for a good 45 minutes. At the time, Father Jim Bashan had been the chaperone on the trip. And I just remember the first thing he said when we were finally rescued. He said, "Don't you guys go to St. Joe's? You should know better." I think we all agreed with him in that moment. The point that I'm trying to make is that when you go to a school like this, you carry with you a certain legacy and tradition of excellence, and hopefully a little common sense too. That is not to say that just because you go to a school like this, that we should never make a mistake. Because some of the smartest and most successful people made thousands of mistakes before they achieved their goals. The main point of this speech, and the idea that I want us to think about as we leave tonight, is not just what has happened in these past 4 years, but rather what these 4 years will mean to us in our futures. Each of us has dear memories of our time here that will always live in our hearts, our own personal story of our high school career. What I want us to think about is how we will use the values and the knowledge instilled in us here to truly make a difference in the world. St. Joe's has prepared us all to do well in life, and I'm confident that we all will. We'll probably have the well-paying job, the nice house, the nice car, and that's all good. I want us all to be successful. But how will we use the skills we possess and the education we have received to not only better our own lives, but to better the lives of others around us? How will we use our minds to better mankind? This is what will ultimately determine if our 4 years here and our future education have paid off. We can be the people who inspire a community, a nation, or the world. I want to share with you one other quote, this time from a contemporary writer named Maya Angelou. She says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Bring the salient education and the message of Christ that we have learned here with you into the world, and people will never forget the feelings of joy and compassion that you bring to their lives. I have to end with some personal thank yous. To my parents, my brother, grandparents, the rest of my family, to all of my friends, my girlfriend Emily, and to my St. Joe's brothers, I say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I love you all, and I couldn't have done this without you. Let us make sure that we all thank the ones we love who have helped us to get this far. Once again, I offer my congratulations to you, the St. Joe's class of 2013. I wish you the best of luck, and may God bless you in your future endeavors. And as Mr. Lionel would say, keep it real and keep bringing it. Thank you.